Hello and greetings, my fellow Londarkians. Welcome to a look at the May Dev Diary for 2023. I glossed over this one a little bit. I'll be providing a little bit of commentary. I know there's something that will be part of this that says communities kind of out to get them, etc. I don't believe that is the case. I know I've been accused myself by Hinterland as being very negative, wanting them to fail. No, my name is pretty much almost tied up with the Long Dark. I very much want this to do well. They just have a hard time taking criticism to the point I actually had to block the CEO in my DMs because of just harassment, wanting to change everything I said, which I thought everyone agreed was very perfectly valid. But anyway, a little bit of the backstory, but let's get into this. Yep. Hello, everyone. We're nearing the midway point of this is from Raph, CEO of Hinterland. We're nearing the midway point of Tales for Our Territory, our paid expansion pass campaign for survival mode. It's only a good time to talk about things that have gone so far. In my opinion, they haven't gone that well. No, not really, because I don't think they've sold that well. Reviews are mixed. I understood the logic as they explained it, that separating the survival mode and the story mode would make for faster work. It has not. And I think you're trying to sell 2 copies of a game now. It's been a little bit of a cluster. They've been trying to keep the 16-week cadence. There are still bugs ongoing from the beginning of the paid expansion. I just think that they really do need to slow down, and I'm really not following them. I did say that they wouldn't make their 8 to 10-week cadence because nobody really does. Nobody can. AAA studios can't keep up that pace, so I really didn't expect it to. But if you say you're going to do something, you either do it or you don't. That's just the way it is. I don't know how we wanted to go. Certainly not how I want them to go. I think we can all agree on that, though. When we originally discussed the idea of doing an expansion pass for Long Dark, we did so recognize the years we've been working on getting the Wintermute episodes out. We naturally have less time to focus on survival. We wanted to give survival some love, but also wanted to see if we could do so more in a financially sustainable way that might set a path for the future. And I totally agreed with it. I really love the idea of the expansion pass in survival mode. I mean, yeah, it's more survival. We love it. And so far, has it been everything I wanted? No, some of it's been some skins. There's been a weird thing about stuff not being an interloper. We actually had to rally to get Signal Void in there. Because it would just seem silly that it wasn't. Hinterland is an independent studio, and Long Dark is self-funded, self-project. Well, really it was kind of kickstarted, but anyway. It means we get to keep our revenue, don't have to share it with the publisher, and we can keep it with external interference. All the costs and risks for the projects ourselves. That's how we like it, and I agree. I think it has worked well for them. We are what we make. But for a large and complex game like The Long Dark, we'll be updating for years without asking for any more money. Wanted to experiment with the idea of creating a new revenue stream to help us continue, and once again, I totally agree. I do think I did leave a positive review on Steam. I do believe this is going to be worth the money when it's done. I did not like seeing this treated as an early access DLC, and this is basically what it is because he's talked about stuff, he had ideas, plans in the works for some of the stuff on how they were going to do the stuff on the roadmap. That's stuff that's not done. That's early access. You have ideas. It is not done. I mean, if you got plans in the works, if you can keep the cadence, yeah, but I think that this one needed a little more time in the oven, and I think it would have been a lot better, but, we're here now, so. To a large degree, the ongoing financial health of Long Dark, which we built an entire company on, also turns what we can make in the future. I also do want to point out, I think they're doing pretty good otherwise, though, because they're advertising for a CFO, Chief Finance Officer, and the salary is about $250,000. I think you gotta be doing okay. While this is a passion endeavor for us, it's also a business, and I know business, I get it. We're focused on running it ethically and sustainably and taking good care of our people. Find a right way to generate revenue, one that is fair to our players. And really, this pass has been okay. I mean, $20, definitely. Is it going to go up in price? Will it be worth, because I think it's going to be up to like close to $35 at the end. I don't know. Just with the way things are going, I wouldn't. I would kind of hold off on that for now till later. We believe Tales would be one way to do that. Charting for updates would come with greater expectations, and when people were getting them for free, assurance of what you would get, and when so that we weren't just saying, "Hey, there's a thing, give us some money," even though most of it isn't made yet. Yeah, it's made fine for last, but we graduated from early access in 2017, and we felt that we needed to do the better for this. But I feel like we kind of just went into, once again, to reiterate, we kind of started this in early access again, and I just it's the gaming industry kind of is sliding more and more. Like early access games are also getting more expensive, but they're somehow getting worse. It's just and $70 games now that release broken PC ports on updates. It's been not a great year. It really hasn't. And in wanting that, I made some decisions, present challenges around the expansion. We committed to a specific roadmap of features and content, which we knew we'd have to produce to a quality level exceeding what we included in the game as free updates over the years. And the last two updates, last update specifically, the first update was a little bare bones. I felt like there were little things lacking Forsaken Airfield, but otherwise the map was nice. Second update I thought was very well done. I really liked the Void Tales, Acorn Trees, all the other stuff. It was pretty good. We committed to a specific number of parts we'd release as part of the expansion pass campaign. We committed to specific cadence. When I don't think we should have ever done this, and I said at the beginning they wouldn't make it, and it's not a diss in any means that they took it as. 8 to 10 weeks. EA couldn't do it. Nobody really could. And I don't think you really did that in early access days, if you're remembering that. A lot of hotfixes and stuff, but major content there was months and months and months of just radio silent. More frequent updates. The timeline release all 6 parts in a year. That is not going to happen. It's at the cadence now. It's not going to. They are going to release everything eventually, but I say it's not going to happen. I think Wintermoot's going to get pushed back as well. I would just honestly, I felt despite being able to hit the release cadence years ago in early access, we lost some of that muscle memory over the years. Also lost a bit of that excitement that comes from frequent game releases, and I wanted to find a way to get some of that back. Yeah, and I can definitely agree. 2022 was kind of good for my business, but not good for the world in general. No, because a lot of games delayed. We had a long drought of video games as well. It was just the whole world was having a really bad time. Project will be healthy for the team and give them some exciting new features to work on to see the game refreshed. Really excited. Plenty of internal discussions. Everyone signed on to deliver this. We pulled up our sleeves and jumped in. We launched part 1 in December. And issues almost immediately. You experienced some of those yourself. And some have been behind the scenes. But the reality is that we failed to hit the 8 to 10 week release target. And I really would have dropped that after the first release. I would have just said, no, we can't do it. Don't promise something we are not going to be able to do. And yeah, so far I'm not going to be able to retrieve it for part 3 because it's almost time. And yeah, it's not going to happen, sadly. But I would rather them take more time, honestly. There's been more than a few bugs that have released the last couple updates. Things not addressed. The AI has been spotty at times. I don't know if that's part of the Unity, maybe pathfinding in there, but each part released, there have been issues that have been forced the team into a hotfixing cycle. I mean, you release new stuff, bugs happen. That's created pressure that led to mistakes being made, and then force more hotfixes. Yeah, if you're trying to push stuff out the door and it's not ready, it's been so much in the game industry this year. It has just been a whole year of it. We need to slow down and make sure we got, basics. And since we mentioned Redfall, because I love mentioning Redfall, that should not have been released the way it was. And I said, you had to know that there would be problems. But I mean, what's the cost? If you make money, what's that going to cost you? It's going to cost Redfall quite a bit. December Roots Part 1, it's put an enormous amount of pressure on the team. Not just the development team working on Dark, but the other teams and studios support our launches, testing, releasing, marketing, community, and so on. As my studio, my responsibility. He was working on new projects. He said he had handed it over to Katie, though. So the quality's all rolled up to me. And he started his letters down. I don't feel like, you tried, you had a good idea. Things happen. I know we don't get along at all. And to be fair, it's not a nice man. It's the nicest thing I can say. To me, at least. But I can't change the past, but I try to fix the future. I'm painfully aware that you've heard some of this from me before with the early Wintermute episodes. People out there reading these words right now feeling gleeful. No, no one is feeling gleeful. This dude likes to accuse a lot of people, a lot of things. I know there are a lot of. I told you can hit this kid. Yes, yes, you haven't hit it once. Not one time. It's okay. Just do what you can do. Don't put dates. Stop doing that. It's okay. I'll wait. It's fine. Yeah, I won't be able to hit the 8 to 10 week cadence for the expansion part releases. Yeah, don't do a new number. You work on it. You put out a tweet when it's ready to go. You put out a video. You get everything done, and that's fine. I'm happy with it. And no such shipping parts on schedule. The experience you get when you play is disappointing. I totally agree. I think the whole industry should take that to heart. On schedule, it burns out the team. No point in promising dates we failed to hit. Yes, we already knew this going in. Yeah. But also now you have the problem that you made all these promises, and the ship has sailed, though. And I also do believe you make a first impression, because like the reviews are very low for Long Dark on Steam. And they're very mixed. They're not quite in a negative, but they're not in the positive yet either. And that's because you should have this is what we wanted to see right here. This is what Hinterland does well. They focus on the quality. It's not fast, and you know, I never expected it. I didn't say tell you so, but I knew they wouldn't. And trying to pressure yourself to make that has, just like he said, had a cascading effect. And I think really the whole industry in general should do this. Stop promising stuff you can't get. Stop forcing people. Stop burning people out. Stop doing overtime, crunch. I know Hinterland doesn't do crunch, but they were probably crunching a little bit anyway. People were crunching themselves. A lot of teams out there that will put out significant updates. I don't know many that can, or at all. And that's okay. Like we see here, you still can deliver the full roadmap. I know they would. They keep their word. Done before the end of this year. Yeah, but so delay. Yeah, it's going to be finished sometime next year. Our team is going to catch your breath, get part 3 done out the door. With China, we'll be able to get you a better quality update that doesn't require so many fixes after the fact. All right, yeah, that's perfectly fine. The 60 FPS fix. I know the team is working on it for console as well. It's also been delayed, so we can release along with part 3. Disappointing to hear, but 60 FPS has been a bit of a hot issue lately. But then everybody getting on Zelda now because that's 30 FPS. But that game is amazing. I can't say enough good things about Zelda. But that one, Zelda just released. They didn't rush it out the door. Perfection, man. This will save us from doing additional releases between now and part 3. Okay, that's good because console certification. Doing consoles and that stuff is a whole other deal because you have to send it for certification. They got to test if there's anything wrong. They got to go back and do it again. Totally understandable. I know Raph will probably paint me as the devil once again, even doing this video, but you know, yeah, what can you do? Amount of overhead for testing and releasing. So yeah, they got to test it. You got to submit it to them, and if it comes back, because I don't want to brick consoles or anything. Be part of 3 launch. No dates. Status of Switch version of Tales, and this is one has been very, very interesting because it's been radio silent. No, we had other plans to have this out early this year when both the Xbox and PlayStation versions came out. I can't promise a date. Now this is worrying because this is like 3 months out now. Not even a date. Yeah, so. And they're already stretched thin, so, I mean, yeah, it's very disappointing if you're on Switch. I might think about bringing on some more dev point. We'll do our best to get Tales up and running for the end of the year. And we get that done sooner, we will. Yeah, that does really suck. Understandable, though. Switch is. I still don't know how they got Zelda running like how they did. Actually, Hinterland's credit to get that at 30 FPS and not look horrible is quite an endeavor. I was actually amazed. You feel you're burned by a situation, want to have Tales refunded. We can't risk your funds ourselves, but you credits from platform you purchase the game. That's the thing. That's not because they actually could if they talked to Steam enough. I've seen developers do this. No matter how many hours, you could refund it, but I wouldn't. You're gonna be out of money. Yeah, because Steam generally won't if you have 2 hours in. Yeah. I mean, I get it. I mean, he is owning up. I give him credit. Like I said, we oil and water, me and him, but I do get this. In addition, give team more time, breathing room to get parts out. I'm also going to be stepping back in to focus on TLD team. Now, this is where mixed feelings about this, but probably good to get back on track. I feel like Katie was kind of coming into her own, though. But I think this definitely want to get back into the trenches. Probably a good idea. Cole is better, great addition to the game. Can he pull it out? I mean, No Man's Sky can pull it out, and this is totally fixable. This is not like a Fallout 76 situation. This isn't the end of the world. I think my team being a little too hard on themselves. I don't even know. Yeah, they treated me pretty bad. They treated me pretty bad, and I still feel like that's okay to say that. I think they can pull this one out. Regarding outside, I've been asking about it. I was thinking we'll be saying anything about episode release dates until we're close to shipping it, which won't be this year. Oh yeah, I kind of already said once again that there was some non-spoiler details about to expect episode 5 later this year. Yeah, not happening this year as well. It won't go a whole year without hearing any news, but it could be late 2024 for episode 5. And the only thing I will say, please tie this up well. Do not put in a teaser for a sequel season. I do understand. I mean, but anyway. So far, it's some good stuff. Really nice of him to, own up to what happened. And I don't think anybody's out to get him or anything. I'm certainly not. I just wipe my hands of him, and I am going to carry on bringing you great Long Dark content. A game I do love pretty much. I do push it. I do recommend it to everybody. I think I've sold a lot of copies for Hinterland over the years. And hopefully I will sell a lot more just by you enjoying my content. But I hope you guys enjoyed. So let me know your thoughts about this, what the news. What do you think about it? Love it, hate it, whatever. Just leave it in my comments. Let me know, and I will get back to those as I can. Maybe in the future we'll talk about that in some of our other Long Dark videos. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to hit that like button. It does help out a lot. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time.